Hi there, welcome to this channel. My name is Murielle and I help leaders build meaningful lives and organizations. And today I'm going to talk about why you should elevate your consciousness level as a person, but also as a leader and as an organization, if you want to be happy and if you want to be successful. So I'm going to talk about why you should elevate your consciousness level, what it means, and how you could do it. And I'm going to do that with the Barrett Model, a model developed by Richard Barrett called the 7 Levels of Consciousness. Now, in slow times, as an organization, it was sufficient to have financial stability, and so to aim for profit, to have basic relationships, and to have processes in place to have operational excellence. And these are the basic levels of your organizational consciousness. So if you had those 3 things, you were successful as an organization in the past. But then you got more and more competitors, or your customers got other demands. And so as an organization, you had to innovate. And so innovation and constantly learning new skills became the 4th level of your organizational consciousness, which doesn't mean that you don't need the other levels anymore. You still need them, of course, but you also need to innovate if you want to constantly evolve and grow as an organization. And these are 4 levels that a lot of organizations master. But today, in these fast changing digital times, you have a competitive advantage. But you cannot keep that competitive advantage for a couple of years anymore, like you did in the past. You get copied after a couple of months or even a couple of weeks, or you get new customer demands or new regulations, or you get disruption like the coronavirus we live in today or we're witnessing today. And so it's not enough anymore to simply have this competitive advantage and to reinvent yourself every couple of years. You need to become very adaptable. And also for your consumers, for your customers, they have a lot of choice. It's not anymore about where should I buy this? It's more about what do I have to choose? There is so much choice in this world that I don't know what to choose anymore, because everyone is having approximately the same and is offering approximately the same. And that's when this 5th level becomes important, and that is authenticity. In a world where there is so much choice, people are looking for authenticity. They're looking for you to make a difference. And to make that difference, you have to have values and a purpose, and you have to stick to that. And that's the 5th level of consciousness. But that's also the level where you start empowering the people in your organization. So that 5th level will make you successful and also happy in these fast-changing digital times. But then when you start making a difference for your customers, you start realizing that things have become so complex that you cannot offer everything by yourself anymore. So you need to build ecosystem to increase that customer experience. And that's that 6th level. You need to build partnerships. You also need to build a community around your company, about your values and your mission. And then that is still not enough, because today people, they also want sustainability. They want ethics. They want you to make a contribution to the world. And that's the 7th level. Living really your purpose as an organization. So these are the 7 levels of consciousness of an organization. And if you want to be successful as an organization, you have to have full spectrum, meaning that you have to be able to function at each level. And what we tend to see is that NGOs, for instance, they have a lot of focus on these higher levels. But sometimes they can miss the focus on profit, on basic relationships and on processes. And so they're not as successful as they would like to be. Or what we also see is that companies that are public companies where financials are really important, they tend to focus too much on profit, on processes, on operational excellence, and not enough on these higher levels of consciousness. So if you want to be successful as an organization, you have to operate on all these levels. But since the consciousness level of an organization cannot surpass the consciousness level of its CEO, well, as a CEO and you as a leader, you have to elevate your consciousness level, because it's the same for a team. A team will not be able to surpass the consciousness level of its leader. So it's important to elevate your consciousness level. Because if someone in your organization is looking to make a difference, is looking to make partnerships and to be empowered and things like that, but you as a CEO, you're still only focused on processes, on profits, on all the things of the traditional managers, well, that person will not be happy in your organization and will most probably leave. So the people with higher consciousness levels, they won't be able to stay in your organization, and your organization will not be able to be successful. So as a leader, you also have 7 levels of consciousness. So the first level is the crisis manager, because you have to ensure stability. You have to make profits. You have to be sure that safety is in place, that everyone is healthy. This is really the basic function. Then you have to be a relationship manager. You have to make sure that people talk to each other, that you talk with your customers, that there are meetings in place where things are discussed regarding projects. Then it's not enough, of course, you have to be the performance manager. So you have to have processes in place. So projects is not enough. You have to look at what went well, what went wrong, how can you improve your processes, look at quality, productivity, KPIs, things like that. That's the third level. But then we want you to be the innovator and the facilitator. So you want your organization to be agile, you want to empower people, you want people to innovate. And so you have to be another kind of leader for that level. And so the next level as a leader is the authentic leader. And the authentic leader is aligned with his or her values. And he or she values authenticity, openness, transparency. So that's the next level. Then, of course, you want employee fulfillment. You want to be a coach and a mentor to the people. So you are the mentor leader, but also the partner leader, the ones who forms partnerships, who build a community. And then the last level as a leader is the visionary leader, because you have a vision for your organization, for the future generations. You want ethics, sustainability, you have wisdom. So again, here, as a leader, ideally, you should be able to operate on these 7 levels. And it's not that one level is better than the others. And as you see, the first 3 levels are the levels where we talk about managers. And so you still sometimes need to be a manager. If there is a crisis, you're not going to empower your team, to have a meeting, to ask, what do you think we should do? If you have a fire, for instance, you will be the crisis manager and give direction to the people in your team. But at other times, you want to co-create, you want to listen, to empower. So you have to be able to function at all these levels. And that's what I teach, for instance, to the participants of my course, is how to elevate your consciousness level as a leader, because it's not enough to know all these things, you have to act accordingly. And how then do you elevate your consciousness level? Well, you elevate your consciousness level by first mastering your basic needs, because the 3 first levels in the Barrett Model are also the 3 basic needs that you need to fulfill as a person. And it's the need for safety and security, it's the need of belonging, and it's the need of self-worth. And it's basically these 3 questions. Do I have enough? Am I loved enough? And am I enough? Or am I worth it? Am I recognized enough? And as a leader, the first thing you need to do is to manage these 3 basic levels. Because once these 3 needs are fulfilled, then you will be able to grow. It's a little bit like the pyramid of Maslow. So you need to have that security and safety need fulfilled. Because if you don't have that fulfilled, or maybe you had some issues with that level in the past, you can become very controlling, you can become greedy, or you can become dominant. The second level you need to fulfill is belonging. And belonging is, am I loved enough? And so you need to have a network of people around you that care about you and that love you. That's really important. And the third level of the third basic need you need to fulfill is self-worth. Am I worth it? Am I recognized? And there it's really important that you give yourself recognition as well. So all the fears that you will have will be linked to having the feeling that some of these 3 basic needs is not fulfilled. So manage your fears very well by listening to the needs behind that, by fulfilling these needs, and that's how you will grow. And then for the rest, to continue growing your consciousness level, just look at what are your values? What do you deeply care about now? And live a life aligned with your values, because once you have fulfilled the values of that level, you will automatically see that you will have new values that appear. So how do you grow as a leader? You grow by looking into what's really important for you now, what do you deeply care about, you fulfill that need, and then another need will come, and you fulfill that need, and that's how you grow your consciousness level, by being really aware of your values and by managing your fears. And so I'm really curious, where do you think you situate yourself? What is your current consciousness level, and what is the consciousness level of your organization? Let me know in the comments below this video. But of course, it's not easy to elevate your consciousness level when you are so busy, when you don't have time. And that's what my next episode will be about. How can you save time at work, or how can you do more with less? So subscribe to this channel or subscribe to this podcast if you want to receive it automatically, and also subscribe if you want to build a meaningful life and organization.